Hey there, it's CG Willie, and I'm cracking a pack today. I'm back with pack number 32 in my 1988 Topps Mini Leaders box. I'm trying to see how many packs I have to crack to get all 77 cards to complete the set. I've included the link to the preview video in the description below, which gives a little explanation on the set and the highlights of what I could pull in cracking these packs. Since each pack only has 7 cards, I'm having a hard time getting it open today, I'm going to guess which categories, or category, singular, that the player led their league in, and then I'll flip it over to the back and guess if I was right or how very bad my memory was. I've got my checklist out. I'm trying to complete set number 3. So I'm down to pack 32. I've got 23 more cards to go. With the last 5 packs, I have 35 total cards left. So I can only get about 12 quadruplicates. So let's get to cracking the pack and see if I can get closer to set number 3. All right, it looks like Brian Downing is one of the cards, and I know Brian Downing is one of the cards I need as a triplicate for set 3. So is Teddy Higuera, I believe, as well. So let's get to looking at these. All right, yep, Teddy Higuera happens to be one that I need for set number 3. Higuera came up with the Brewers as a starting pitcher, had a lot of early success, and then by, I think it was 89 or 90, his arm basically fell off. He threw a screwball similar to Fernando Valenzuela, put a lot of torque on his arm and his shoulder. After 90, he never appeared again in the major leagues, but he had a very successful run. I believe he was a league leader in victories and strikeouts. Yep, third in strikeouts with 240, victories fourth with 18, third in shutouts, fourth in complete games, sixth in innings, and ninth in games started. Next we have Willie McGee, who is, yes, one of the triplicates I need. So looking good so far. All right, Willie McGee is one of my favorite players from the Cardinals. A lot of memories in the 1980s for Willie McGee. He eventually came back to the Cardinals after leaving to the A's, Giants, Red Sox, and finished out the last little bit of his career with the Cardinals as kind of a fourth outfielder, pinch hitter. McGee was a league leader in RBI, runs, stolen bases, and I think batting average. So, oh boy, I missed a lot. He was fourth in doubles, fifth in RBI, third in triples, and seventh in hits. So, he only had 16 steals. I seem to remember him having a lot of steals. A lot of great memories from Willie McGee. Like I said, one of my favorite players. Kevin Seitzer is another card that we need as a triplicate, so let's get him marked off. Seitzer came up with a lot of promise in the late 80s for the Royals. In 87, he probably had his career year as a league leader in batting average and hits. He defensively wasn't as great. He kind of took over for George Brett at third base, which pushed Brett over to first base, but didn't really come around defensively and spent a lot of time as a designated hitter later on in his career. Like I said, I think he was a league leader in batting average and hits in 87. So hits, he was first with 207, fifth in triples, sixth in batting average, eighth in on base, and ninth in runs. Ivan Calderon is another triplicate we need, so let's get him marked off. Calderon spent some time in his career with the Mariners. I believe he came out with the Mariners, the White Sox, and Expos. Didn't quite start out as a power hitter, had a lot of doubles. Eventually, he got a little bit more pop in his bat as those doubles went for home runs and was in 30 home run territory for a couple of years in his career. But early on, he was more of a doubles guy. I believe he is a league leader in doubles. Yep, third with 38. Dwayne Buse. Okay, I'm knocking out a lot of triples. So hopefully I'll be able to complete my third set. Buse came up as a reliever with the Angels. Only had about 2 to 3 years in his career. In 87, he was a league leader in saves. He's more known because of his help in getting Upper Deck a major league license to manufacture baseball cards. And he made so much more money from Upper Deck and baseball cards than he ever did in his career. Like I said, he was a league leader in saves. I think he was 5th in 87 in saves. Yep, with 17. You didn't have to have very many saves in the American League, to be a league leader. He was also 7th in games finished. John Franco is another one of the triplicates that we need. Franco was a great reliever. Finished his career with 424 saves. I think that's good enough to be 6th on the all-time saves list. I believe, now Billy Wagner passed him, but for a long time he was the save leader for a lefty closer. In 87 he was, God, focus isn't working very good today. He was a league leader in saves. I can't remember, I think he was 3rd in saves. Nope, 4th with 32 saves. 1st in games finished and 10th in games. Okay, final card out of the pack is going to be Brian Downing. So we were able to get 7 triplicates. That's a pretty good rate to get us close to that 3rd complete set. Brian Downing didn't have a ton of power early on in his career, but later on in his career, once he got to 30 and above, he was pretty good in the power department. I believe he was a league leader in doubles and slugging percentage. I don't know that he got there in a home run, so I'm gonna stick with doubles. Maybe game-winning RBI. That's always the stat that I forget the most about. Nope, I was completely wrong on all of it. Runs. So he was 3rd in runs. He was 1st in walks and 6th in on-base percentage. 29 dingers and 77 RBI. I had forgotten that he was more kind of top of the lineup, 2nd or 3rd batter. Okay, my favorite card out of the pack, I'm going to be a real homer today and spotlight Willie McGee. McGee is, once again, one of my favorite players. The 80s and 90s was when I was really, as a kid, following baseball, collecting baseball cards. And Willie McGee, although he just looked so awkward in the batter's box, he was a great defensive center fielder for a number of years. Because he didn't hit a ton of home runs, and 85 and 87 are really good examples where he hit 10 home runs, maybe 11 home runs, had a ton of RBI, and that was because there are players like Vince Coleman, Tommy Herr, Ozzie Smith that hit ahead of him, got on base, and he's able to drive them in. So he is one of the few players in Major League history that would hit low number of home runs, anywhere between 8 and 11 home runs, but have over 100 RBI. Won the MVP in 1985 when my Cardinals lost to the Royals, unfortunately. But I'll always remember the 82 World Series. I believe it was Game 5 where he hit 2 home runs and robbed, I think it was either Gorman Thomas or Robin Yount of a game-winning home run. And for many years was on the highlight reel to start the baseball game of the week. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like it, please subscribe and share. Also share with me in the comments what your favorite card or what you thought was the best card in the pack. Until next time when I'm back to crack the next pack of 1988 Topps Mini Leaders in my quest to complete set number 3.